one, how do we choose our next destination? And how do we slow down? There's a new term called slow travel. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But the main thing is choosing your next destination. What works for you?
Take one.
No, it's the only take, believe it. Yeah.
So I'm asking Olga 2 questions. How do you choose your next destination? And this is also for you folks out there that watch these videos. How do you choose your next destination? And then question number 2 is, what do you think about slow travel? Okay, yeah. We'll get to that a little later.
Well, first of all, of course, this is just in between. What do you call those things? Parentheses. The destination chooses you. But nobody believes that, so we'll just move on from there. The karma is where it is, and that's where you're going to have to go, like it or not. But we have to play a role. And how do we choose our destination? Well, you actually start looking at flights.
We're budget travelers.
Yes, of course. Well, everybody has a budget.
Okay.
So budget travel is certain, but everybody has a budget. Not every, So whatever your budget is, that's where you're going to look and see what is possible. So you often start there. You find. Sometimes when I'm working where I used to work, I'd get a message. I found a cheap flight to blah blah blah. How about it? Shall I book it? And I'd go, yes, book it. And that's how. That's one way we do it.
Before we started this video, Olga says, I'll do the video, but I want coffee first.
So that's an example. You have to figure out what it is that you want. And then do that. It's simple, but people get distracted. Like, for example, you can go to Ibiza, which is Spain, but people think it's a party island. And yes, it is a party island, but there are places in Ibiza where there is absolutely no party, where you can go do peaceful yoga. So you just have to pick and choose and know where not to go and where to go. It's a little research, isn't it, Dee? That's where you come in, huh? I just say yes.
That's good, generally. I had more in mind how people step away from what they're used to doing and go to a new destination, and that it's possible.
Right. I remember my daughter saying, Mom, old people never do anything new. Oh boy, did it go crazy right after she said that. We've been doing new things since then. But it is also true that we do repeat things. So we also make an attempt to do something new. Say, how about this? And then we have to look at all the different aspects. Money is one of them. Availability, can you get there cheaply? But also, can you leave it cheaply? Sometimes you can get in a place really well, but the flights out, or there are no roads out, or whatever. You have to look at both sides, and where does it connect? So you have to look at it a little bit.
We were stuck in Turkey one time, and we needed to get to Spain. And Olga said, we'll just take a bus. But the bus was 3 buses, and it was like $600. And the flight to Europe was $27. Okay, here's our first pause.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, that was a phone call from the dentist, rescheduling my appointment. And one reason we travel, especially as we age, I unfortunately have to have an extraction. But we go to South India and have implants, dental implants. Don't get me wrong. And so that's another reason people travel. Dental tourism or doctors or Ayurvedic visits or whatever it is that you're interested in. And yeah, things are possible.
They turn their medical and dental issues into holidays.
Absolutely.
Deal with the issues and keep it affordable and get a trip.
Much more affordable. I mean, the trip plus everything else, plus your issues taken care of for a lot less than you would pay in the United States, especially here. We're in Hawaii. Things are expensive. So it's one way to deal with stuff.
Okay. Part 3.
Oh yeah? What are you doing?
I'm going to join the fray. my shirt on.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Try not to trip over the cables.
Yeah, I know. Oh.
Okay.
All right. Now what?
Choose your next destination
Well,
as a how-to.
as a how-to, I would have to repeat myself that you go online and find cheap, inexpensive flights that we can afford. No?
That's not what I'm asking.
You mean it's not the answer you want?
Well, that's true.
Okay.
But lots of people say, how do you do it? Even a comment we got 2 days ago said, you must be millionaires.
Oh, well, we're not. Clearly.
Okay. So how do you go from having an idea in your head to getting to a
You have
place?
to do research and see what you can afford in reality. And you're very good at looking at things and finding inexpensive flights. That is still my
I
answer.
still don't think it's
And it doesn't mean that you go to every place you can afford, but it means that you find something. Also, of course, the second thing, first, available, whether you can afford it or not, that's important. But also, where are we going? What do we like? What is it we're trying to accomplish?
Before we ever get to budgetary concerns,
Yes.
what do I like? What do I want to do? What
Warm
do I...
weather, swimming.
Oh, here we
Warm
are.
weather. I'm not going to the North Pole. Sorry, Alaska. I'm just not going to do it. It's too
Olga
cold
likes
for me.
warm weather.
I got to have, preferably, tropics.
A chance for swimming and snorkeling.
Oh, swimming and snorkeling. That is my happy.
Hiking.
You know?
I like fresh air.
Yeah, yeah. So that's beautiful weather. Yes, beautiful places. I like coastal areas. Although the mountains have definite appeal, and some
I found beautiful lakes, but
lakes. I grew up in the Caribbean. I grew up snorkeling. I was 5. I couldn't swim yet, but I could snorkel, and that's a fact. My dad kind of forced me to do that. So,
okay, so
yes,
that's your thing.
that's my thing.
What is your thing?
That's the question. What do you like to do? What makes you happy? Follow your happy. Follow your happy. That's it.
So then I thought you could add a couple things of, make a list if that's what you like to
Sure.
do. Draw points on a map.
Yeah.
We hear news clips, like we heard about Mozambique, the most walkable city in the world. And I can't, Male, something. Okay. And then we looked at it,
Yeah.
and 82% of the people walk, but it may have to do because of income inequality.
Yeah.
But this is how you get an idea.
Yeah. It's okay to reject things.
I found a flight one time to Turkey, and Olga
Yes.
said, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I started researching it, and then we saw X Games. They were bike riding in Cappadocia, and
Yeah.
the crystal clear water.
Oh, that did it. It's
And
cold water, but it's
Turkey is now
wonderful.
one of our favorite places.
Yes, and
So-
swim everywhere.
Figure out what you want to do or what you like to do.
Yeah.
I would say don't be afraid to challenge yourself a little bit, comfort zone, or maybe require yourself to be a little better human being. I don't know how that translates individually, but
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that either. So, it's a good thing.
I don't
period,
want to
but-
go and get in a drunken stupor.
Oh, that's what he means.
Like
yes.
Olga talked about the party island.
The indulgences.
But we don't go to the party island.
Yeah,
we
we-
go to the
yeah.
beauty of the place.
In our case, we're vegan. So some people say, oh my God, how do you do it? Well, sometimes it takes a little extra work, and sometimes you do without. Soy milk for coffee. Coffee is important. Look, we're having some now. And yes, sometimes you can't get it. So that's just how life is. You get over it, move on, and the next town does have it. So, you just have to adjust a little bit. That's okay.
And every now
worth
and then, Olga enjoys a hot cup of tea.
Yeah, sure. Just no milk, no cow milk in it. That's one lovely thing. Is we try to ahimsa is alive and well. We're really trying to live that way. But that's us. So yeah,
Ahimsa is harmlessness.
harmlessness.
One of Gandhi's words.
Yeah.
But that's a lifetime in the making. Maybe.
Totally, we're getting there. Another thing that I am after is yoga classes that I can afford and that are good. And India and Bali, and I'm sure there are other places where you can do that, and it's really nice to take nice, good quality classes and fit it into your life. It's a good thing.
We
healthy.
also watch travel
Fun.
videos, and one of the ones I saw, they called it 89 days. It's going beyond a regular vacation and not quite expat.
Uh-huh.
And they said start in the United States if you live in the United States.
Sure.
You know, start where you are,
Start where you are.
in your city, your region, the state. Go to a national park and spend more than
Yeah.
2 days.
And what we have done, and it's also, we've been lucky, we've been traveling a lot, and we have really imbibed this I'm a tourist attitude. So even when we live somewhere, we're living here right now, but we're still tourists. And I take pictures of beautiful flowers and beautiful scenery, and I enjoy every day of my life. Yeah, I'm having an extraction in 2 days, so that won't be so enjoyable, but stuff happens. So, but you gotta wholeheartedly be where you are. Look for the beauty and the happy. It's about happy life, isn't it?
And peace of mind.
Sure, peace of mind. Yeah, totally.
Okay, on to slow travel.
Okay. Well, I remember in the old days, you might have a week or two on vacation, and you're trying to jam pack it with all kinds of activities, and you come home exhausted and broke because you've done too much in a short time. Photo albums and barely remember what you've done or where you have been, or oh my gosh, I should have been there longer, and I wish I could have stayed there a week or two. So that's slow travel. Slow travel is really being where you are, and that way you remember it. That way you get to know it. That way you can really be in a place, and then when you're ready,
be in your own skin.
Yeah, be where you are, instead of being rushed. And because if you go too fast and you do too much in a short amount of time, the mind can't keep up with it, and it causes a lot of stress. That's not fun.
And then when you find, oh, I don't want to do that, but you got to do your thing yesterday. And instead of it being a give and take, it becomes a push and shove.
Well, listen, in our case, I just do stuff.
Like Olga will say, well, I'm going for a run.
Yeah.
And
I
have some other little project that I work on in the morning, whether it's darning socks or looking up the identity of a coin I found in the market. Yeah. And then Olga will come back after 2 or 3 hours. She's explored an area.
That's
she
the
goes,
thing.
oh, I found one place we can go to. And
I run, I make mental notes, I go, oh my God, I got to get Daniel here, this is really cool. And oh, there's a nice hike, or there's a nice coffee shop, or
a castle.
Oh my God, I love castles. I do them all.
I don't love
them.
castles.
No, but I do.
Yeah.
So sometimes I force you to come with me.
Or I will walk with her to the castle.
Yeah.
I will sit and talk to some locals.
Yeah,
and
or have some coffee or something to eat, and I go up and do the thing. Yeah, yeah.
And occasionally I do go.
Yeah.
One time in Turkey, we went to the city of Alanya, and they have a beautiful mountain that overlooks the sea. And Cleopatra had been there, and there was a castle, a fort on the top. It was
Cleopatra's castle, yeah.
But it was an 8-kilometer walk to the place.
Yeah, that's true. We were.
And then it was a half a day hike up and back.
Well, we did it, and you did it.
Reluctantly. And an 8-kilometer hike back home.
Uh-huh.
So
yeah,
that's what I'm saying, getting out of your comfort zone.
We had those days. And then the week after that, we moved a little closer to the castle. We had to a different hotel. And then I got to go up 2 more times by myself, just for fun, because I happen to really like Cleopatra. And anyway.
Making friends with the locals, maybe a cafe or a restaurant.
Yeah.
The people, they have hopes and dreams. They have a life. And they work hard. If you ever been associated with a restaurant or a place that has to serve the public every day.
Yeah, no, that's a big job. Well, I don't have anything really to add to that. Just try to figure out what you like and look for that and follow that and see where it leads and say yes. I'm working on, where is it? I don't have the E and the S yet. They're coming. But yes. Say yes to it. And don't be afraid. Even if you have to travel by yourself. I love, don't be wrong. We're good. But solo travel, it scares people. Don't let it scare you. Do your little research. And guess what? You're going to meet people, like-minded perhaps people, that are doing the same thing. And, no organization needed. You just run into folks, you connect with them, you do something together. It's great. Travel is fun. You know, all kinds of how do you say, unplanned surprises, and that's what makes it so fun. Yeah.
Our next trip is 2 months out from now.
Yeah.
We've been planning it since March, like the day after we returned from our last one.
Mm-hmm.
We've been planning, and we have the bookings made for the outgoing leg,
yeah,
all the way to India.
But not the return.
And then it's wide open.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And also, we've been saving money for Olga to have the dental work done.
Yeah.
So
gotta do it. Gotta do what you
everything
gotta do.
is possible. It's a whole creation.
Yeah.
The universe is boundless.
Yeah. And we're lucky. We have someone who will live here and pay part of the rent,
Mm-hmm.
and that is one of those practical things. Well, because we used to not have a home base, and now we do.
We used to just put the things in the car and take off. And,
yeah.
And that sometimes made coming back a little rough.
Yeah.
But now we have a home base, and
Yeah.
someone will stay here in a subsidized situation.
So that helps him, and it helps us. So win-win.
That was good coffee.
It's excellent coffee.
Olga put some cocoa powder in, just a secret weapon.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye and pleasant journeys.
Okay, let's see if